Oscar Wilde said, "All bad poetry springs from genuine feeling. To be natural is to be obvious. To be obvious is to be inartistic." Happy Bad Poetry Day, Oscar Wilde, and happy Bad Poetry Day to you all. This is Stephanie from the Scott County Public Library in Georgetown, Kentucky. Please join me in celebrating this quirky holiday. Founded by avid holiday creators Thomas and Roy Ruth, Bad Poetry Day beckons one to read deliciously bad poetry. It also encourages you to put pen to paper and write some bad poetry of your own. If anything, you should leave Bad Poetry Day festivities with a greater appreciation of poetry that's actually good. So without further ado, let's dive into 3 of the worst poems ever written. One of history's worst poets is regarded as being William Topaz McGonagall. Critics have time and again looked upon his works with a sense of mind-numbing awe. In the 1880s, he was often booed off stages during his poetry reading performances, and in some venues, he was banned from ever returning. Recently, though, an original copy of his works, titled Poetic Gems, sold for thousands at auction. It seems people can't get enough of his bad. Here is an excerpt from one of his worst poems, titled The Tay Bridge Disaster, which ironically is about a bridge collapse and a train wreck. This was written in 1880. This is an excerpt from The Tay Bridge Disaster. O ill-fated bridge of the silvery Tay, I must now conclude my lay by telling the world, fearlessly, without the least dismay, that your central girders would not have given way, at least many sensible men do say, had they been supported on each side with buttresses. At least many sensible men confesses. For the stronger we our houses do build, the less chance we have of being killed. Similar to William Topaz McGonagall, Amanda McKenzie Ross is also hailed as being another one of the world's worst abusers of the English language. It's said that C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien's Oxford literary group, the Inklings, would take turns reading her poetry aloud and see who could last the longest without laughing. Here's her poem on visiting Westminster Abbey, written in 1933. Holy Moses, have a look, flesh decayed in every nook. Some rare bits of brain lie here, mortal loads of beef and beer, some of whom are turned to dust. Everyone bids loss to lust. Royal flesh so tinged with blue undergoes the same as you. Famous some were, yet they died. Poets, statesmen, rogues beside. Kings, queens, all of them do rot. What about them? Now they're not. Yet another historically bad poet is Theo Marzios. His A Tragedy, which appeared in his poetry collection titled The Gallery of Pigeons and Other Poems, is often cited as the worst verse in the English language. It's a sad little poem about the contemplation of suicide, and it makes you want to plug your ears and forget that you ever read it. Here's an excerpt from A Tragedy, 1873. Plop, plop, the barges flop, drip, drop. I can dare, and let myself all run away with my head, and stop, drop, dead, plop, plop, plop. With that, the cows and I will leave you to celebrate Bad Poetry Day in your own way. Whether near or far, in field or car, I hope the poetry you read is subpar. This is Stephanie from the Scott County Public Library in Georgetown, Kentucky, signing off. Happy Bad Poetry Day.